Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. This episode is brought to you by The Wellness Paradigm, a holistic health coaching company shifting the way that women understand and heal their bodies. Through bioenergetic testing, functional lab testing, and functional nutrition, we uncover what traditional approaches often overlook, so you can stop guessing, start healing, and finally feel like yourself again. No more one size fits all protocols, just real answers, deep rooted healing, and the clarity and confidence you deserve to feel incredible. It's time to shift the paradigm of women's health. Now, on to our show. Good morning or good afternoon, Eloise. We are in different time zones. She's over in the UK. So thank you so much for being here today. She's definitely got a really beautiful, interesting story that I cannot wait for her to share and unpack. She is an embodiment and cosmic healing coach who helps people find the power of their own connection and true body wisdom. So, Eloise, thank you for being here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, I'd love for you to explore a little bit more on how you got into this whole practice, what it is specifically you do, and yeah, the journey to really getting here.
Interesting. So, where it all began really was life absolutely wanted my attention. So, I was actually in America at the time. I was in Seattle and I was crossing the road and I got hit by a motorbike. So, normally I've got ninja reactions and I'd hear a motorbike and maybe jump out of the way, but clearly that was meant to happen. So yeah, I fractured my spine, my pelvis, my leg, and after that, I was left with chronic pain. It's like my spine, my sacrum seized up, and ever since then, I've just been on a journey. Obviously, at first, I was going through the medical routes and just giving my power away to find any way of anybody telling me any answers so that I could find the solution and then make it better, or like find the solution and stay in my victim. Um, so yeah, explored that very deeply until I was literally so depressed, taking so many pills in all this discomfort, thinking, I literally don't want to live my life like this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I decided to go to Bali, and as almost like a last chance of any hope, really. Yeah, I went adventuring over there, and it was just finding out about the mind body connection just sparked something. It gave me that hope that I was really looking for, and it just opened up everything. And so I was able to take my power back. You know, it's like waiting for appointment after appointment, taking ridiculous amounts of pills, and then just losing yourself. Like, because you can't plan anything, you can't be in your power because you're just in this fog of awfulness. Um, so, yeah, once I found this hope with yoga, with understanding the mindset and how the emotions are held in the body and how my thoughts were feeding into the problem and creating it and making it worse. So starting to untangle that and working back, you know, and I absolutely believe that anything from the body is a signal. It's getting your attention, and life needed it to be pretty extreme to make me change. Um, So, yeah, since then, I've just been on a search all around the world, been on different training courses, and that was my mission after feeling in such a disempowered, disconnected place. I wish to be able to share this with whoever is meant to find me.
Yeah, you and I were talking before the podcast how we have similar but very different stories of, chronic pain and trying to understand the real root of this chronic pain and how difficult it can be because I think a lot of listeners too, it's very difficult to feel like this is an emotion problem, right? Like believe if anybody's listening, this was me too, right? I was like, no, this can't be my thoughts, right? Like it's got to be a pathogen or it's got to be a structural issue. And that was also very real. And when I unlocked the emotional aspect, when I unlocked this whole other world, that's when I feel true healing happened and expedited, right? So I love that you're bringing light to this. Can you share a little bit more? So you went to Bali, right? Maybe not everybody has the opportunity to gallivant to, I mean, I wish because Bali's amazing. I hear. But if somebody's kind of in the spot, how would you kind of guide them into trying to find something different? What did you personally do? Like, how did you find this other component to healing? Yeah, let's go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, sure. Um, I I know I would say like just observe whatever your body is feeling. I mean, it doesn't have to be a physical injury. It can be an emotion, a feeling in the body. And then rather than trying to, the normal thing would be to distract and like do anything other than feel that. But actually, if you zoom out and think, okay, this is just a feeling. Can I be okay with just a feeling? And if you start to inquire into it and just be curious, like, oh, okay, this is really uncomfortable, but I'm just locating it in my body is the first thing. Like, where is it? Do you feel tight around the chest? Do you feel an anxiety in your stomach? Do your shoulders feel tense? Lower back pain? Whatever it is, just start to think, okay, my body is trying to get my attention. My body has got something for me. And rather than run away from it, can I just let it know that, okay, I'm interested in you, like, hey little friend, okay, let's be friends now, rather than reject or numb out or dismiss entirely. Like your body, our bodies are full of magic and wisdom. And whatever way it comes through, like these signals, these feelings, emotions, they're messengers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're clues to your wisdom to unlock and unravel from the stories that are in your life at the moment.
Yep. I think one of the key things that I remember when I found out or when I heard this was like so simple but so profound is you have to heal or you have to feel to heal, right? And I think particularly as women, we're taught to suppress, right? Even subconsciously, just keep going. We have so many things to do. We've got to be, whether it's career, whether it's family, whether whatever it be, it's just like, just keep going. Ignore it, right? And I think that's why so many of us deal with chronic issues, right? We don't realize that's the root. So,
Mm.
let's say somebody's sitting with their emotions, sitting with the pain, sitting with whatever discomfort, right? What would you say would be like the next step for somebody to kind of help move them through that?
Find your own anchor points. So, like deepening your breath would be a really nice way of soothing your system. So, the exhale sends a signal to your body to relax.
Hmm.
So, even if there's a discomfort amongst the body, you've got that. Okay, I'm calm, and then just watch where your mind wants to go. Like watch how you talk to yourself. Like, can you almost literally talk to yourself like you're a child? Speak to your inner child. You just be like, okay, it's okay. I feel you. Nice, deep, soothing breaths. And even use your hands on your body to comfort yourself. And it's giving yourself time, just a few seconds of inquiry. Like it first thing in the morning, look in the mirror, deep breath, give your body a little shake or a little bit of a wiggle, and even feel the effects of moving in that way. Just be curious, like wiggle now, like wiggle,
Hmm.
and then just okay, how does that land in my body? What can I notice? And it's just enticing the attention from the mind inwards. And you build up a connection. It can be so gentle, and then you often, because you're attuned to that, you'll find wherever you're meant to go. You'll discover your way, and it's coming from the inside. Like, how can I comfort myself right now? What can I give to myself that is from love, not fear?
Yeah, that's a hard one. We all operate unknowingly from fear, right?
Mm.
Um, I think I liked what you said where it was just like, sometimes it's gentle. It's not like this huge awakening. Now, I know that you specifically did have a very large awakening, I guess is what you could say. I'm curious to kind of explore what that looked like.
Well, so yes, it was how I see it. It was I've done a lot of facing my shadows, facing my stuff. So it's almost like I've cleared a lot of the stories. So then my kundalini energy was activated, and I wasn't intentionally trying to do this. It just happened. So the kundalini energy is in within all of us. It's dormant energy at the base of our spine, and basically what happened was it activated after a plant medicine experience, not during it, but afterwards. And my body just started moving by itself. It started with this movement. And I was just kind of going with it, thinking, can you imagine your body moving and it's not you moving your body?
Oh.
And exactly. And it got wilder and wilder. And my arms and my legs were flinging themselves side to side. I literally thought that I was possessed. And I saw all these visions. I was like Jesus at the stake, a witch drowning. My body was moving into these positions. I was kneeling with my hands tied together as a monk, like a handcuffed monk, making all these noises. And I thought, oh my God, what? I was actually terrified at the time, thinking, what is this? If anyone found me here, I would be totally sectioned and locked up. So yeah, a lot of fear came in at that point. But then as soon as I was like, okay, if I'm meant to die, that's what's going to happen. And I totally surrendered. And that's the case. You put up your fight, and then when you surrender, like, okay, I get it. At that point, the words cosmic healing came in, and my body was moving in ways that felt incredible. It was, oh, my hands were moving up my chakras, and all this language was coming out, like language, like codes, like light language, if you like. And since then, life has been very different. Like this whole awakening, this tuning in to something way bigger than my little mind and my stories. It's just enabled my perspective to broaden, and I see all the different stories that are happening at once. I see and sense whatever the body is doing. It's a little glimmer of past lives, of ancestral stories. So whatever's happening in this life is a resemblance of what has happened in past lives. And I just, yeah, it's like a trance that happens. And when I'm in my story, when I'm feeling uncomfortable, I literally tune into my body and the stillness, and I just get out of the way, and my body just moves. It just releases the energy for me, and it's the most incredible feeling because I haven't got to work anything out. I've just got to surrender, acknowledge, tune into my body, and trust the intelligence within to do and complete and release whatever it needs to do. So it might look like I've got Tourette's or body tics or something, but it's beautiful. Like I've made peace with it and surrendered so that I know that it's my body working for me. And to witness that it's beyond magic. And I just love kind of giving an insight into what is actually possible when you trust your body, get the mind out of the way. That's what that was, by the way. Mind out of the way. Yeah. And then let the body's intelligence come through. And it it just every day blows my mind, sinking into the simplest ways of being. And my life is in a pure flow, like undoing all what's expected of me, all anything that's normal. And yeah, tuning into really practicing, okay, where is this coming from? I choose my decisions from pleasure, not pressure. And obviously that's taken a lot of undoing, but it's absolutely worth it.
That really is so wild because if you would have told me the story 10 years, 5 years ago, I would have been like, I believe it, but like kind of weird, crazy, right? Just being honest. But I have heard stories like this multiple times. I've witnessed people, going through their own transformations, and it's like crazy to me. Like I had just been introduced to light language, I think 3 years ago, and I was like, what? Not me personally, but hearing it, and it's just amazing that there is so much outside of our realm of our brain, and what we think is possible for healing and for just, I don't even know what the word, I think healing, just, in general, right? Um, so I know you mentioned, cosmic embodiment. I'm curious what this really means to you and how past lives or soul's missions kind of play into this overall healing process.
Yeah. So the like with the embodiment, it's an opportunity to move in a way that feels good for you. So it's not a here you go, move like this, telling you what to do, following instructions. It's empowering yourself. So, okay. And even that can bring up a story of, oh, I don't know what to do when I haven't been given instructions, because it's the whole lot of this. I get it. It does sound weird. And I'm totally with you. Like 5 years ago, however many years ago, I'd been like, oh my God, no, they're too out there for me. And now here I am, not knowing who I am, or what on earth's going on. But it's kind of fun to discover. Um, but yeah, so when you're moving and it's like you're slowing down and inquiring into the sensations, and then you find where the tension is in your body that you might not even know is there. So the tension kind of reveals itself, and you can massage the where it feels stuck with the movement. And perhaps there comes in a story of any sort, because the emotion, wherever it's held in your body, like the left side of your body is the feminine, the right side is the masculine. So then it becomes a decoding process. So, for example, all my injuries have been on the right side of my body. And so that's the distorted masculine. I've always been in my masculine energy. Like when I was younger, I used to play football and I was so strong and I could do everything myself. And I think the injuries have come along to kind of make me very aware of my body and for me to be able to soften into my femininity. And it can go, I mean, there's so many different angles that you can go into with this to link it to past lives. Um, so the right side, because I know that it's ancestral and past lives, it's everything. Like there's been multiple stories of my maternal line of hip injuries, and that's linked to deep emotional stuff of like not believing in themselves, giving power away, like a man coming in to like control, and that's appealing rather than being in your power, from the unhealthy ways. So yeah, there's so many different avenues that it can kind of go into to clear. And it's as simple as, like, you don't even need to know all those stories, really. It's as simple as feeling and being with the sensations in the body and allowing that to come through, and how you respond to it dissolves it, clears it. And whenever I do this, I notice the effect in the relationship with my parents. I notice the healing in them. It is unbelievable to witness that and to see the knock-on impact.
Yeah, I think when people think of healing, yes, we do it, I don't want to say selfishly, but for ourselves, but we don't realize the impact so much bigger that it has on, family, friends, colleagues, you know, which is very, very cool to see. What would you say are maybe one or two of the things that people maybe have trouble with when they come to you, wanting to seek, more embodiment, more healing, whatever that looks like? What would you say is kind of one of the biggest sticking points that is, I don't want to say hard to get through, but harder to kind of work through?
I think most people come and they're kind of feeling a bit stuck. They're noticing like the the patterns that keep on repeating in their lives. You know, whether it's like attracted to unhealthy relationships or eating patterns. A lot of addictions come in, and they're the big ones that suck you in and try and hold you there. And you know, you can try all the different approaches, but yeah, they're some of the main topics that come up, and it's like looping around, and then all of a sudden you can realize, oh, okay, if I loop that way, try something different from a different perspective, to kind of get to the root of, like, most addictions are from the solar plexus. It's like unmet needs, lack of confidence, and then you're like reaching out for something outside of yourself to fill that void. So, but there's all sorts, PTSD, body body discomforts. It's like, put somebody who's open and ready to move and expand in front of me, and I'll do some magic.
I really feel like it is some sort of magic, even though at its very root level, it's energy, which is our core being, you know. Um, I know that's something when I practice, I do bioresonance work, I do bioenergetic work, which is using a machine to help me tap into that, but it's like people are like, oh, this is sort of magic. I'm like, yes, and it's just actually just looking at energy. That's who we are at our root, and we're just moving it in the right way that we're just not taught how to use, or do. So it's really fascinating, and fun, right? It's fun to kind of see
Mm.
people move through that, right? If someone's maybe stuck in a chronic pain, emotional burnout, emotional addiction, whatever you want to call it, what's maybe one practice or mindset shift that they can start today to reconnect with their body's kind of wisdom and try to heal on kind of a deeper level?
I would practice considering that it's helpful in some way. In some way, this discomfort, this challenge that you're being given from life is to unlock some soul knowing, some wisdom. It's almost, I see it like, when we're born, we've got these screws in us. And so imagine, like, as you work through life, you kind of feel like, oh, there's a like a screw loose, if you want to say. Um, and so these screws are representational of like soul lessons. And once you become aware of one, it's like, oh, it's uncomfortable. But as you start to untwist it and work out of it, you understand and know that, okay, this is, in some way, it is a lesson that I'm here to learn in this life, and it's going to be helpful even though it's uncomfortable. So whatever you're with, whatever is happening in your life, if you can see it as it's happening for you, it's happening for a reason, and then it automatically shifts your mind to seeing the reasons why it's helpful, rather than being in, oh, it's so tough, it's so painful, I can't do this, I don't know what to do. Because those thoughts, your body's going to respond to those, and it's going to contract and tense, and your inner child is going to be like, oh, that sounds really scary. Versus, okay, let's see why this is happening. So you're like opening, you're expanding, and that choice, it just makes life 20 million thousand times easier with everything. Every single thing that's happening, when it comes in, it's happening for you.
Yeah. That's a hard one,
Yeah.
especially when you're in the thick of it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really hard to reframe because it's also like a muscle. You have to keep reminding yourself because some days are better and some days are not, right? And it's like reminding yourself that this is, what is this teaching me, I think we've just shut off how to actually approach it from that, right? And
Mm.
I feel like automatically want to go to victim mode, right? Not consciously, but yeah. Any last little tidbits of wisdom that you want to share with us?
Um, do I have some light language if you want me to share that? It's
If it's coming through, let's go for
yeah, I feel it. So basically, this is language that speaks to your soul. So just close your eyes and listen and feel and just notice anything that you can notice. Ia kuni akatia chapuni aka ia one ichitia shpapa ika kakuni akatia kachuni shamoni akio. Yeah, my body does a few little releases and yeah. So it's not a language that you're meant to understand. It's just receiving the energy and letting it land.
it. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm,
I appreciate it. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate you coming on here, sharing your story, your wisdom with all of us. If somebody wanted to find you, where would they find you?
Um, I'm on Instagram, Your Safe Space with Eloise. I have a website, eloisestephenson.com. Yeah, I do a few podcasts and like just some like little 10-minute snippets, which I'm practicing making myself do more of to share more story and voice. But yeah, it's been wonderful being here. I really enjoyed this connection and how it's all happened. So thank you for creating this.
Yes, thank you for being here. And I will definitely put those down in the show notes so people can find you. And yes, thank you so much for being here. And thank you guys. If you guys found this helpful, love to know some thoughts. Feel free to review, which is always great, or just send us both a DM. Love to hear when things land really nicely for you, or just, to connect. So thank you for being here, Eloise, and we'll see you guys on the next show.
Thank you. Thank you.